Hi everyone, I'm Daniel and I want to show you today how to deploy Gemini Pro Vision, the multimodal, on Cloud Function. First of all, we need the Cloud Function. Now, I had a previous video that described how to create a new function out of nothing. I'm not going to do it again. If you're not familiar at all with Cloud Function, just go to the previous video. I will have a link over here and just follow everything until the point that you have a running function. But if you already know Cloud Function, then I will just fly through the instruction very fast, and then we can go to the juicy stuff. So basically, what do you need? You need to create a new project. If you don't have a project in GCP, you want to create a new Cloud Function, and then you want to enable whatever you need over there with the APIs. And please don't forget also to enable the Vertex AI API. You definitely, when you're starting to create the function, you want to set everything probably as default, just maybe change the name of the function, but leave everything as is. And then when you're moving to the next tab, when you need to put the code, I'm usually just changing the endpoint name, but I'm not doing any other stuff. I'm just deploying it as the default hello world example that you're getting with it. And that will be the end of this part. Once you got the function deployed, we can move to the next part, and the next part is actually to insert the code of the Vertex AI that will allow us to connect to Gemini Pro Vision. Fine. So how do we do that? Let's go back to the code over here and let's start edit it. So first thing, we probably want to add a new package over here that will allow us to work with Vertex AI. So let me just copy the text to save us time, paste it over here, and we're good to go. So that's the first thing that we want to do. And then we want to go back to the function, and of course we will like to get the Vertex AI into the code, into our function, and then we can probably in this point also create the instance of it and also define the model that we want to use with it. And then we will also want to add this part of the code. Okay, so basically what we're doing here, first of all, we're saying that we want to use the Vertex AI, and we need to put the project ID over here and the region that we're using. So let me just copy it from here. So that's my project ID. Of course, you will have to put your project ID, and of course, this project ID will be deleted before I releasing this video. So please don't look for it, or look for it, enjoy it. Okay, so I got this defined. I asked to use the model of Gemini Pro, and then I'm actually using all the default arguments, so I'm not playing with it too much, but it depends on your need on what your application is doing. You probably will need to play with it, but for what we're doing right now, it is so straightforward. We really don't need to hassle too much. So the first thing we want to probably do is to get an image inside Cloud Function. So in order to get the image, I'm going to use actually those two lines. Let me just get rid of this one over here. I need the image to be on base 64. I will send it as base 64 from the front end, and I will show you the front end in a second. And I'm going to receive it over here, and then I'm just going to instruct the data out of it, because when you're asking for base 64, you're actually getting some kind of information in the beginning that's saying what it is, and then you're getting the data. I don't need the data, so that's what I'm instructing it with this line over here. And then I'm going to add this function that will probably help us to generate the text out of the image. So let me just align everything that it will look beautiful. Great. What we're doing over here, let's just go line by line. So first of all, I'm creating the prompt that I need to send. And here it's pretty basic. I'm saying that I'm in the role of the user, and I'm giving in this area, I'm giving it the image that I'm going to send. And then I'm going to put the text that I'm sending with it, which in this case is write a creative Sherlock Holmes first chapter story inspired by this image. So he will get the image and he will get the text, and he will understand that he need to do something with the image, and you have the instruction over there. So that would be like beautiful. And then basically what I need to do is just send it, and of course putting await because it will take time before I will get back the response, and then I'm waiting for the response, and then I'm just taking the text out of it. So if you have other stuff that you're supposed to get back from the model, you're probably going to need to change all that. But this is like really the most simple case study that I can think of, and we just need a text back from the model. That's what I'm doing over here. And then in the end, instead of just saying hello and all that stuff, I probably want to return answer, and I want the answer to be the full text. Right. Okay. So that makes sense. Sorry, I don't want to, sorry, my mistake. This is a function, so we need to call the function. So let me just write const text equal, and then we have this function, and I don't need to put any parameters inside the function because the function is already looking for the image, and you know how to take the image. So from my point of view, I could probably put a based image inside of it, but we don't need that. And yeah, so that's it, and then return the answer, and we're fine, and we're good to go, and we can basically deploy it, and it will probably work. But let me just jump to the front end, and then we can discuss why this probably won't work with the front end that I created for it. Okay, so I'm just going to leave it as is for now. So let's talk about the front end. I just wanted in this video to talk about the back end, and I decided not to waste any time about the front end. So I created a prompt for the front end, and I went to my favorite chatbot, and I told him, like, you can read it over here. I like you to write a website that will ask the user to upload an image, then display the image in top left side, and so on. And I describe what's going to be the result from the API. So it's going to get a JSON, and there's going to be an answer, and you just need to take the string from the answer and then display it next to the image. And I want it to have like a black background or dark background or whatever. Basically, when I finished that, I got a very simple, not a design website, but a working website. For this demonstration, that was enough. And I will put all the code, of course, on GitHub, so you will have access to all of it. Just know I didn't write this code. I just fixed it a little bit, and that's it, because it's working. And from my point of view, it's fine. So if I will go over here, I'm now running it on my local machine, and I have the image. And let me just open up the network over here so we will be able to see it a little bit better. And if I will upload an image, who cares which image I'm selecting, let's just take this one, I will probably gonna get an error. And the reason I'm getting an error over here, it's pretty simple, and I think, yeah, we can probably also see it on the log. So we have a cross error because I didn't put any policy in order to call the API from my domain into the different domain, and we need to fix that. And that's what I told you, that it's probably not going to work on the first time. So let me just add a little bit of decoration for the headers and make sure that it's working, and you can also later on do it for yourself. So basically, when we sending a request from a different domain, we have to wrap them. What I'm going to do over here is just paste this code, and don't worry, you will have all the codes that you need in the GitHub. But what I'm basically doing here is I'm adding some headers that will allow you to support, in this case, to get it from any domain. When you will run it, just try to make sure that you put it on your own domain for security reason, of course. But this endpoint will answer any domain that will attack it. Oh, sorry, not attack it, send a request for it. And then if that's like the first message, then you will know how to respond to it with a 204. And later on, if that's the request itself, it will respond to it correctly. I do need to change the way I'm sending the response. So right now we do want to change it to send it with a 200 status, and of course the answer and the text as we did before. And before I'm sending it away, we have an asynchronous function over here. So we probably want to do it also over here. And of course we want to say await over here. Otherwise, well, we can wait a lot and nothing will really happen because we won't get the answer on time. Let me just make sure that I did all the necessary changes. I think I did. Let's hope I did. Move this, and yeah, let's send it to deploy. Okay, once we finish deploy, let's go back to the website and upload the image again. And we got the first story. And I think, well, I took this picture a few days ago in Madrid airport. And it's pretty amazing that although there's nothing that indicates over there in the picture for me that it's in Spain, it still knows that it's in Spain because it placed the story over there, as you can see in this line. So yeah, you can go over and read it, and if you want to create some kind of a project out of this, I would probably use another API of text-to-speech and just have some nice British accent voice reading this story to the user. But we got a nice story over here, and it probably will work with any photo that I will upload. That's the basic things that I wanted to show you over here. As you can see, we fixed the problem, we run the code, we see that it's working, and basically that's it. So that gives you the most basic foundation how to take a multimodal like Gemini Pro Vision and deploy it on Cloud Function. Now from here you can take it to so many different creative places. So for instance, you can create an app that will look around and just tell you what it sees, because all what you need to do is just use the camera, take a snapshot, send it to the Cloud Function, and get back the description. If you of course put the prompt that describe what you see in this photo, and you will get a full description. So that could be one way to do it. Other way, if you want to go even more creative, just define on a prompt what type of different scarf color matches shirt, and then you can send a picture of a shirt and it will tell you which scarf you better buy for this outfit. So yeah, you can go however you want with it, but that's the foundation how to write the code. And if you have some great ideas, you're more than welcome to comment. If you learned something new, please give it a like, of course subscribe, and I see you in the next one. Thank you.